Hello, and my name is Pete Rushmer, and I'm your host today of A Half Dozen Things podcast. A Half Dozen Things is a podcast for business owners just like you. Whether you're an underdog hungry for success, or you're already smashing it but want to continue to level up, we are here each week for you to get insight and learning from the very best in the business. No fluff, no BS, and no self-proclaimed gurus talking about how easy business or life is. Good afternoon, those people who are listening to this Lunchtime Live, doing 2021 in review. Just a bit of a fun look at the last 12 months. Things have just been pretty crazy for everyone, I think. So I guess we're just going to look at the punctuation marks around my year and Flagship's year, particularly in the fleet sector. Maybe there are different punctuation marks for you guys listening. I'd be really interested to hear those in the comments. What's been the standout stuff that's happened for you this year? I think December's always a great time for reflection and sort of thinking about the things that have gone on and be able to then prepare for the new year, prepare for 2022. So those are some of the things that are happening. December's generally pretty quiet from a training point of view for us because everyone's gearing up. They're really busy, ready for Christmas. It's such a short month. I just thought I'd have a bit of a bash through. I think when I was sort of doing a bit of research, getting prepared for this session, it was actually really interesting and eye-opening to think, wow, that happened this year and it's gone already. And it's almost gone from your mind. And it's quite an interesting activity. So I do recommend, if you're listening and you're interested, have a little look through what's happened in your diary. Think of some of the things that have happened over the past 12 months because, it's an absolute eye-opener. So I'm going to kick things off sort of early on in the year. The DVSA had brought in the 10-year tyre rule, which was a big thing, sort of as we proceeded into January and preparing for MOTs and that kind of thing. Literally the first day back in the office, we went straight into lockdown again. I remember us coming back for one day and then Boris announcing that evening that we were going to get locked down and we'd got a load of classroom training booked. That was an absolute disaster for us, going to have to cancel. We had to cancel a load of driver CPC courses, move everything back online again. It was an absolute disaster. I remember thinking, why didn't we do a circuit breaker sooner over Christmas if this was going to be the case? So it was sort of crazy. And then around the 20th of January, the first introduction of the relaxation of driving hours, which I found was interesting, that it dated all the way back to January there. I thought, and we've had various iterations throughout 2021 of those relaxations of the driver's hours. So found that really interesting. February was really, really punctuated by getting prepared for the direct vision standard. I'm not sure about anyone else in the sector, but that was a big thing. Certainly through December, January, fitments were starting to happen and we were starting to sort of throw through all the applications for HGV Safety Permits. I think I must have seen hundreds of photos of in various arrays of quality from drivers and people around trying to get those vehicles approved for the direct vision standard for London. That was a massive thing, certainly through February and March. Like I said, I think we did several hundred different vehicle applications, some multi-vehicle applications. It was a pretty big thing. And then sort of as I was looking through, April was really punctuated. It was really sad. We lost the Duke of Edinburgh just shy of his 100th birthday. I thought that was a really, really sad occasion and a notable event for 2021 because it was just a real shame that happened and it's sorely missed. In May, we move on. There was Eurovision nil points, first ever nil points for Eurovision, which I thought was pretty disgusting for the UK. But luckily, things picked up in June and July. England beat Germany in the Euros, which is always a good result, isn't it? If we get to beat Germany in the Euros 2-0. In July, we beat Denmark. Everyone thought it was going to come home until the Italians swiped our hopes and dreams from us right at the last minute. Certainly that was a big disappointment for me. And if I've got any Italian friends looking and listening, which I may actually have, then what's that all about? Should have let England win. Around August time, we saw the COVID booster was going to be brought out September onwards. From an industry point of view,
Truck Fest happened, August bank holiday. It was a fantastic Truck Fest this year. I really enjoyed it. Met some of our customers. Everyone had a few drinks. It was a really great time, and I'm looking forward to Truck Fest 2022. I don't know what the plan is, whether they're going to carry on with August bank holiday or whether they're going to move it back into May, because I think it's usually in a May bank holiday. But yeah, really looking forward to Truck Fest next year. Obviously holiday time, what have you, it was a really busy time for us. We actually had four FORS audits in a period of 5 days with our customers, for FORS Bronze. Anyone that's been through the FORS Bronze process and auditing, that's some mean feat, carrying out so many audits in such a short period of time. August was literally punctuated by that. It was a case of a bit of holiday, getting ready for these audits, and then having another little bit of holiday afterwards as well. So that was crazy. And how many people have forgotten, but actually in September things went absolutely mental this year with panic buying. Petrol stations, what was that about in September? Everything just went nuts in September. Lots of panic buying, queues at the petrol stations, all created by the media. Well, I hope we've learned our lessons from that, but that was absolutely crazy times. I can't believe that was already like 3 months ago. I don't know where the time's gone. There was also some test changes that were suggested in September that we were looking to bring in November around HGV Driver Testing. So that was quite a big punctuation this year, a big change. In October, other changes came in. You had the ULEZ, the Ultra Low Emission Zone, expanded hugely into the North and South Circular, and there was a new introduction of driver's hours relaxations again based on the driver shortage. There's still some speculation around that shortage. Is there a shortage, or is there a shortage of vehicles? I've spoken to lots of people with various opinions there. But overall, we saw another range of relaxations, and then we were talking about what these changes were going to be around driving, and the HGV test, going straight from test through onto your Class 1 rather than doing Class 2 and then Class 1, which sort of came in November.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. We're really proud to sponsor a Half Dozen Things podcast. At Flagship Partners, we take road safety really seriously, and we're your road safety partnership. We help transport companies with compliance and training across their businesses, including first aid, driver CPC, and other transport management services. So if you're FORS accredited or you want to improve your operator compliance risk score, give Flagship Partners a call today.
November, that was October, sorry. In November, only last month, we had COP26. Britain, 10 million cases of COVID. We were the fourth country to have reached 10 million confirmed cases of COVID, which is a ridiculous number, really. With the backdrop of that and COP26 and the ULEZ, a particular punctuation mark for me was that I got our first electric car on a short lease deal. And actually, can I tell you, I interviewed Stavros, Irish YouTuber, around October time, I think, and we were talking about the electric cars, and he said they're a disaster, nightmare, etc., to live with, and he'd gone back to combustion engine. Well, I must say, I've had my electric car for a couple of months now, and it's been absolutely amazing. I've got a little Kia Niro that I run around in. Yes, it has to go on charge quite a bit. I've worked out it costs me about 5p a mile in electric on current rates, which I think is pretty good. It's pretty good. It performs really well, and I tell you what, it goes really well as well. So I quite enjoy driving it. The other thing in November was announced that they were going to do. That the DVSA were doing a driver CPC review around its fitness, around what the right length of training was going to be, what the right delivery method was going to be, whether it was fit for purpose. I think that's a really, really interesting thing, and I'm really looking forward to the consultation period ending on that, to see what the feedback is. I've certainly had my say, both from an operator point of view, but also from a training centre point of view. Those people who think that driver CPC is going to be scrapped off the back of it, I think are likely to be wrong. I think we're going to continue to have driver CPC into the new year and beyond. whether there's a potential relaxation for drivers who have previously held CPC, it's expired, and then we're trying to recruit and bring more experienced drivers back in who have had CPC lapse, whether there's a bit of a relaxation around them having a bit of time or a little bit of grace period to get caught up, I think is a good potential. But I do think that there's a lot of scope for driver CPC to be improved, particularly as a training centre ourselves. That's something that we yearn and desire to do as well, and really to raise the standards. 2021, one of the things I haven't mentioned is that, we've seen the introduction of Zoom training or online training for driver CPC, which has been a big game changer. We've seen the introduction of the £30-35 driver CPC online course, the stack it high, sell it cheap mentality, which I think has had a detrimental impact on the quality and the perceived quality of driver CPC. I think it's fair for me to say that as a CPC training provider that really aim for quality, and as an independent centre, I'm not a fan of that, and certainly you won't catch Flagship Partners trying to get involved into that race to the bottom. But we do welcome the feedback for the driver CPC review. Look forward to sort of seeing what that is. Maybe the introduction of some e-learning elements, maybe some reduction in the day, the top timing of the day, because 7 hours is a huge amount of time for anyone to be sat in a classroom. And potentially whether additional classes are added instead, whether there's a bit more structure around what the content is as well. That'd be well welcomed as well, making sure that content's really relevant. And ultimately what I'd like to see, having heard some horror stories around other driver CPC providers signing drivers off that aren't present and that kind of thing, I look forward to hopefully some more stricter standards as well being introduced. I think JALP do a fantastic job, and I think that we should continue to do so to ensure that there isn't a mockery made of the industry training. So what else has happened? In November, there was also the test changes introduced that I mentioned earlier around HGVs. December, what's happened so far? Well, it's been pretty stormy. Up north, there's been some horrific storms already, and I think there's another one on its way coming through. People without power. So sending my best up there for anyone who's struggling, and I hope that everything resolves itself sort of fairly rapidly. From a Flagship Partners point of view, I think it was interesting for me. I did an exercise as we planned for next year, and I was having a look at the business and some of the things the business had done. I was dead chuffed. We've been through 6 FORS bronze audits this year with our clients, all successfully completed. We've done, I think, 4 silver applications, which is amazing. We've had new team members join us. We've had some fantastic new team members join us. Really pleased that Jamie's on board now, and I'm looking forward to another couple of recruits who are coming next year. To add to that, we're looking to launch transport manager training in 2022. April next year, we're looking to have our first cohort of transport manager training coming through. We've got a trainer called Mike joining us, who's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm really, really excited. He's currently working his notice period with another provider, and we're looking forward to him coming to join us. And as I reflect back, 600 first aiders we've trained in 2021. That's some number. I felt really, really proud as I saw that, and I put through the calculations. 600. So we've been training first aiders at a rate of around 50 a month. Which I think is some going. We've also done 300. We've trained 300 drivers on driver CPC training, and we've also done over 500 online courses as well. And that's just some of our core focus. We've also continued to help operators with their compliance, like I said, with their FORS, making sure they're upholding the highest standards. So those are some of the big things for us. We've had a really, really great year. I'm dead chuffed. So what's happened with your year? What have I missed? I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed. There was loads of news, loads of things happened in 2021. It's just been a bit of a blur, but it was very exciting having a look back through the calendar and some of the big things that have happened. And I encourage you to do the same. But drop a comment in. What are the big things that have happened for you this year? How have they impacted you? Really interested to hear. Come and join us in the Flagship community. We've got the Transport Manager and Consultant Hub Facebook group. Please do come and join and come and speak to me there. Follow us on the socials and subscribe to the podcast as well. Half Dozen Things. Amazing. I hope you guys have had a great year too. And here's to 2021. Take care.
hope you loved today's episode, and if you did, please make sure you subscribe and listen out for future episodes too. Please do share it across your social media channels. We hope to reach more and help more people. If you want to find out more about me, my name's Pete Rushmer. You'll find me across any social media channel and my business, Flagship Partners, and we're your partners in success across your business. Thank you. See you again soon.